Howdy everyone, and welcome back to more Root Double Before Crime After Days. In the last episode, we went into a very, very highly radioactive area trying to rescue a girl who doesn't want to seem to be rescued. And we ended up falling unconscious, and I don't know what's going to happen, so let's continue on. His consciousness was in eternal darkness. Without the ability to rely on his five senses, he had no clue where he was. His hazy mind just barely managed to construct that thought. He then made out the sound of someone breathing nearby. Oh, come on. We know whose chest that is. When he opened his eyes, he saw half of someone's face. It seems someone was walking while carrying him on their shoulder. Captain Kasanagi? Who's that? No sooner had he thought this than did everything come back to him. That's right! I fell unconscious! Watasi's five senses swiftly recovered with that thought.
Sensei.
気がついたのね。大丈夫、隊長さん。
ここはなんで先生が
You know what? She's earned some points in my book. Whoosh. She was the last person I expected to come save me, so she gets a lot of points for that. The last thing Watasi remembered was chasing that girl. He tried to recall what happened after that, but all he's found was a total blank.
来週島で倒れていたあなたを森部さんが非常階段のところまで運んできたの。今森部さんは橘さんと一緒に地下2階の火災を消火してるわ。私はあなたを制御室まで連れて行くよう頼まれたのよ。
そうだったのか。すまない、迷惑かけて。
そうよ。重いあなたを抱えて階段登るの大変だったんだから。
Watasi gave Ina a wry smile, then suddenly remembered something.
ところで、あの子は
三宮さんは森部さんの話だと逃げられてしまったらしいわね。
Well, she's gonna die out there. The readings were off the charts. It was crazy high. There's no way she could have survived, even with AD.
内州島の汚染区域のどこにも三宮さんの姿はなかったとのことよ。
他のエリアに逃げたのか。
Watasi had no clue where she disappeared to. He felt like he'd seen her running off somewhere just before he collapsed. But he'd been hit with a particularly painful headache right after that, causing his memories around that point to be extremely vague at best. But he knew for a fact that she'd run away.
どうして彼女は逃げたんだろう。
Why did she not want to be saved? That's what I want to know. That's interesting.
わからないわね。心当たりは？
Unless she did something horrible and she doesn't want to be caught.
ない。
I mean, that's the only reason I can think of. But thinking back on it, Yuri had clearly been scared back when he'd first met her. Perhaps Watasi's face looked especially frightening to them in an environment like this. Maybe. No? Or maybe. Maybe the girl had also found those bodies. Anyone would be shaken after seeing something like that. In the end, Watasi was no closer to figuring out the truth. Watasi sighed and moved away from Ina.
歩けるの？
ああ。それより、彼女は汚染区域に逃げた。被爆している可能性がある。
待って。それについては少し希望があるかもしれないわ。
Ina said that and took something out. It was an empty AD ampule.
それは？
階段のあたりに落ちてたの。これを使ったのが三宮さんだとしたら、彼女の安全はある程度保証されているわ。
So they also know about the AD. Interesting.
汚染区域に居続けなければ大丈夫か。
but he couldn't be optimistic. It was very unlikely that she had a Procreon. And he continued talking.
大丈夫よ隊長さん。実はあの子はね、あらゆることに秀でた天才児なの。
天才児？
そうよ。彼女ならきっと生き残る手段を自ら模索できるはずだわ。
そうか。それは確かに希望だな。
Even if it was only a faint hope, Watasi felt he should believe in it. Oh, back here. The pair exited the connecting passageway and made it to the door to the control room. Yuri was waiting out there.
何かあったんですか？隊長さんが汚染区域に入った直後倒れてしまったらしいの。汚染区域に？
I have to say, of all the characters, I don't like Yuri. She's the one I dislike the most. I don't like her character. She's just too weak and frail and meek, and I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. Yuri walked over to Watasi with a look of shock adorning her face.
いや、急に頭痛がして俺もよく覚えてないんだが、放射線障害の一種かもしれん。橘が言うには放射線は脳細胞を損傷させるらしいから。
そんな。
He stared hard at Watasi.
心配してくれてるのか？そうか。
Yuri's response was surprising, but also heartwarming. She'd been acting like she didn't want to go near Watasi the whole time she'd been with them. He didn't know why that was, but the concern she'd shown him just now seemed to be proof that she was becoming a bit more comfortable around him. Is it because all the times I risked my life? Watasi then gave Yuri a smile.
大丈夫だよ、ユリ。俺たちはこれが商売なんだから。民間人の、それも女の子に心配されてちゃ商売上がったりだ。
あら、一発の口を聞くようになってきたじゃない？
Captain
記憶
Amnesia.
喪失の隊長さん。
Very clever.
まあ記憶はどうあれ、俺はレスキュー隊員らしいからな。それなりの格好はつけるさ。
Just as he said that, it suddenly hit Watasi. His subordinates were currently fighting the fires down on 4B2.
俺ちょっと橘たちを手伝ってくるよ。二人は制御室で待っててくれ。
大丈夫なの？さっき倒れたばかりなのよ、あなた。
もう復活したよ。湿地を挽回しなきゃな。
もうタフな人ね。
Watasi started running off towards the emergency staircase as he heard Ina say that. When Watasi ran down the emergency staircase, he found the sea of flames still there. He could see Kazami and June holding two hoses that desperately suppressed the fire at the sound of the program's alarm beeping in the background.
戻ってきた。隊長、もう大丈夫なのですか？
気遣い無用だ。それより俺に手伝えることはあるか？
放水手伝ってもらいたいけど。
Everyone's at max, so good. Watasi checked the area around him as he listened to June. Everywhere except for where Kazami and June were standing was engulfed in flames. With the air full of heat waves and steam, every breath he took felt like it was setting his lungs on fire.
今の隊長には危険です。お下がりください。
No. Firefight is all about teamwork. But there must be something I could do too. Watasi stood frozen in place.
俺は後方から状況を見る。何かあれば警告するからな。
おお、ありがとう隊長。恐れ入ります。
The two of them shouted that and continued hosing down the fire. But the fire looks far beyond control of human hands at this point. Just as Watasi thought that. Some of the nearby flames surged upward fiercely. A tongue of flame which had been licking at the ceiling nimbly waved towards the door. It was almost like the writhing of a giant snake.
おい、あれなんだ？
まずい、ロールが起こってる。持ちません。全員撤退。
Even Watasi could tell that whatever was happening was no laughing matter.
二人ともこっちへ。
Watasi opened the emergency staircase door. Kazami and June threw aside their hoses at the same time and ran for the stairs. Watasi followed them on nigh instinct.
Hasire!
What the hell was that? The whole group crowded their way up the stairs as fast as they could. Watasi closed the fireproof door to the stairwell as soon as they made it back to B1. And not even a second later, the door shook with a roar. Watasi was knocked down by the shockwave occurring on the other side. He landed on his side and felt a keen pain run through the area around his ribs. He quickly shut the door again as he groaned. It looked like an explosion had happened downstairs, and the blast had made it all the way up to the stairs. And if we'd been a second slower, the thought sent shivers down Watasi's spine.
何だったんだ今の爆発は。
フラッシュオーバーだよ。火がエリア全体に回った時、急激な熱膨張が発生して爆発現象が起こるんだ。さっき炎が生き物みたいにうねったでしょ。あれがその前兆だよ。
だから逃げろと言ったのか。
If they'd stay there, they would have been burning to death right about now. Watasi gulped as it finally hit him just how ferocious that fire had been. His ribs still ached from when he'd been knocked to the floor.
でもまあ、全員無事でよかった。
Oh, that could have been bad. Ooh, good thing we got out of there. He looked at Kazami as she said that, only to find her leaning against the wall, her hand gripping her head.
どうした、立花。
いえ、急に頭痛とめまいが。頭痛？まさか AD なしで地下2階に降りたから？
The fiery hallway they just escaped from had a reading of about 4,300 MSV, according to the Procyon. That was over the first danger standard, an extremely dangerous zone to those without any AD.
おい、大丈夫なのか、立花。
大丈夫です。
No, you're not
問題ありま
fine.
せん。
You are not fine. I don't trust you.
でもまさか放射線で。放射線障害がこんなに早く自覚症状として現れることはないはずです。おそらく一酸化炭素の吸いすぎでしょう。
Your face was still a bit pale. Maybe she's right, but we can't be optimistic, can we? Even Watasi had fainted with a violent headache right after he entered a contaminated zone. It was way too dangerous for someone without a full ampule of AD in their system, like Kazami. Kazami spoke up with a firm voice as Watasi thought that.
それより一度制御室に戻りましょう。下の階はもう通行不能ですので。
Kazami then started walking on ahead, followed shortly afterward by Watasi and June. So that doses of AD really hadn't been enough for her. Though injecting oneself with a drug stored in a damaged container was already in and of itself extremely dangerous. We need to find some AD on the double. Watasi then whispered into June's ear.
森部、立花はきつそうだ。俺たちが支えてやらなきゃ。
分かってるよ隊長。分かってる。
Watasi and June nodded at each other and quickly marched towards the control room. Oh, when they got to the control room, Ina, Yuri, and Yukida were already there. Oh yeah, Yukida was supposed to hopefully be able to figure out how to open the bulkheads. Hopefully he did that. Probably not. But let's have some hope, right? It's too gloomy down here. We need some hope. You know, a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. No sooner had they passed through the doorway than did a bitter shout echo through the room.
くそ、権限が奪えない。
Damn. What's that mean?
どうしたんだ、浮田さん。
Yukida and the others turned around in surprise.
お帰りなさい3人とも。
君たちか。椿山さんから話は聞いたよ。大変だったみたいだね。ああ、だがもう大丈夫だ。
None of Watasi's group said anything about Kazami's deteriorating condition.
それより何かあったのですか？権限が奪えないとは。
うん。核兵器の開閉操作について僕も力を尽くしてはみたのだが、まずプロテクタが厳重でとても手がつけられん。さらに3つの制御用コンピューターが相互にシステムを監視している。
Man,
無理に権限を奪っても即座に奪い返される仕様になっているようだ。僕の技術では正直どうにもなりそうにない。 そうか。
Everyone's faces fell at Yukida's explanation. Though it had only been a half-hearted hope, it still came off as a disappointment.
だが代わりと言ってはなんだがいくつか分かったことがある。みんなモニターを見てくれ。
Yuki then operated the control panel, bringing up what appeared to be a map on the screen.
これはこのラボの詳細なマップさ。これが今いる地下1階でこっちが地下2階だ。おお、こりゃ助かる。今まで施設の構造が分かりにくかったからな。構造だけじゃなく現況もある程度ここから確認できるようだ。それで分かったんだが、まずやはり地上に続く全ての隔壁は閉まっているようだ。他に出入り口もない。ついでに地上の隔壁の前まで通じている非常階段も第2エリア内周塔以外のものは全て壊れているようだ。そうか。
It was more or less what they'd expected, but it was still disappointing to hear. Kazami pointed to the lower half of the map.
この赤く塗りつぶされている箇所は？
ああ、そこは火災が起きているエリアらしい。
Just like Kazami had said, that whole area was dyed red. And the letters next to it, Area 4B2. It was the fire that Watase, Kazami, and Juna narrowly escaped from.
じゃあこの赤いところって全部
B2 of Area 4 wasn't the only area that was red. Area 5 was full of red dots, and almost all of Area 6's outer ring was filled with red.
これらの火災によって隔壁などが破損し、放射能漏れが起きているのかもしれないな。プロキオンの数値が上昇しているのはそのせいか。
破損した隔壁を塞げば数値の上昇は止められるかな？
難しいだろう。破損部がどこにあるかわからないし、多数ある可能性が高い。そもそもキューバしのぎの補修などで放射線を抑えられるわけもない。しかし参ったな。これじゃ捜索もままならないぞ。
Lower 4 was completely off limits to them, and they still needed to find Kazami some AD quickly. And with the areas ahead of them on fire, there was also the survivors' safety to worry about.
では直ちに考えましょう。この情報を踏まえた上でこれからどうすべきか。
The group meekly nodded.
まず早急に必要なのは AD だな。
I know that we still haven't found a single ampule except for that half-broken one that Kazami took.
立花をいつまでも今の状態のままにしておくわけにはいかないし。
確かに。でもどこを探せばいいのかしら。
捜索を予定していた下の階は炎上中だしね。
Suddenly, Yuri, who hadn't said a word so far, broke her silence.
待ってる間にこんなの見つけたんですけど。
Did you find some AD?
ん？
He looked at Yuri to find she was holding what looked like a small notebook. I'm sorry, but this is not AD. This is useless. Throw it out.
これは何？ゆりちゃん。この施設の防災マニュアルみたいです。
Disaster prevention.
ここにこんな項目が。
Well, it doesn't look like anyone read it, now did they? Yuri opened a certain page and showed it to everyone. The group walked over to her and took a look at it. Okay, Disaster Prevention Manual 2030 edition. Before a case in the event of an emergency in the facility, such as a fire or an accident, please also be wary of a case in. Do as this manual says and first secure some AD. And in the chance that a case in does indeed occur, please take the following countermeasures. Case in countermeasures. The first thing you should do in the event of a case in is to administer yourself with AD. Yeah, we got that. Alright. Though the passages leading to the staircase surface will be sealed off with bulkheads, this is no cause for panic. Please remain calm, go into the nearest room you can find, and wait for help to arrive. Oh, I hope this tells me something I didn't already know.
9時間も待てなんて無茶言うわね。
Well, if we had plenty of AD, it wouldn't be an issue, but sadly, that is not the case.
いや、それはシステムエラーのせいだ。本来はもっと早く隔壁が開くはずなんだ。
Oh.
待て、続きがある。
Oh, there's more. Okay, about AD. There's an AD on reserve in every area. We recommend that all personnel look into and confirm where the AD in their own area is being kept In the emergency that the AD has been damaged and you do not have enough, there should be plenty of spare AD in areas 1, 3, and 5. Please obtain some as quickly as possible and administer it. Well, there are a few more entries after that, but that appeared to be only information that pertained to their current situation. Tassi broke out into a smile at this new knowledge.
予備の AD を多数配備か。いい情報を見つけてくれたな。ありがとう、ユーリ。
Yeah, I probably should have checked that. Oh well. I think she's already at max anyway, so. Yuri gave a small tinge with a faint tinge of joy.
それにしても第1、第3、第5エリアに AD があ
Well,
るって書
we
いて
were
あ
in
る。
Area 1, weren't we?
そんなのあったかしら。
How much AD was in Area 1?
そういえば第一エリアで AD が5本入ったメディカルボックスを拾ったよ。それのことかな。
But we searched Area 3, didn't we?
思ったより少ないな。まあ本来はそれでも十分なんだろうが。
第一エリアも当初は火災が激しかったです。それ
では第3エリアにはメディカルボックスはあったが空だった。
That's right.
すでに誰かに持ち去られたのだろう。
Maybe it was those kids.
残念ね。じゃあまだ捜索していない場所はないの？
No, we haven't been Area 5 yet, have we?
あることはあるのですが、
Because I'm looked at the monitor.
地下1階第3エリアの外周棟、ここはカードスロットが壊れてて入れませんでした。
Oh, that's right.
そういえばそうだったな。
The map showed one of the 3 routes to that place was blocked off by fire. And according to Kazami, one of the others had a security slot that had been incinerated. And the final route, the only one Otasi had personally been through, had a broken card slot.
通路を塞いでいる火を消せれば入れるんだろうけど、あれはもう人力での消火は難しいだろうし。
Yukita suddenly spoke up when he heard June's comment.
待てよ。人力では無理と言うならば。
The computer can help us.
よし。うまくすれば AD の問題も火災も一度に解決するかもしれんぞ。
Oh, do tell.
何？浮田さん、何か。ああ、こっちのマップを見てくれ。
Okay. Yukita proceeded to operate the control panel again. A strange map then popped up, one that did not appear to be off of B1 or B2. In the first place, it didn't have any detailed descriptions of anything apart from Area 3.
これはどこの地図だ？これは1階と地下1階の間にある設備関係が収められた区画だ。屋根裏部屋のようなところだと思ってくれたまえ。で、見てほしいのはここ。エンジンルームさ。
Engine room. Those words caused Otasi to remember the note he found earlier on.
エンジンルームってまさか。
消火システムがある場所ですね。
Oh.
ああ、現在スプリンクラーも何もかも停止しているだろう。
If we go and turn them on, we can launch the sprinklers and put the fires out.
消火システム自体が何らかの理由で停止させられているようだが。
I think someone planned this. Someone planned the meltdown, and the sprinkler system being shut off is just too convenient. I think this is a, an inside job or something.
そこに行けばシステムを復旧させられそうだ。火災に対してかなり有効だろう。本当か。そのエンジンルームにはどうやって行くんだ？それなんだよ。この地図によればここだ。先ほど話に出ていた入れない塔。つまり地下1階の第3エリア外周塔のこの部屋にエンジンルームに続くはしごがある。だからなんとかこの塔に入ることさえできれば火災も鎮火し AD も入手できるってわけか。
Those words brought the whole group's spirits up.
隊長、これは福音ですよ。
だね。浮田さん、グッジョブ。
Yeah, Mr. Yukito, you did a great job, man. I'm gonna buy you a beer when all this is over. Do you drink? If you don't drink, I'll buy you whatever you want.
いや。
Okay, alright, expected more words.
だけど、問題はどうやってそこに入るかですね。
Yeah, that's true. There's still the fire.
そうね。考えられる方法は
Okay.
通路を塞いでいる火災を何とか消すかしら。
いえ、それは火星が激しくて危険です。私は壊れたカードスロットを修理することを提案します。
What to do? Watase thought it over for a second and soon came to his answer.
なあ立花、通路の方に行ってみないか。頑張ればなんとか消化できるかもしれないだろ。
それはそうですが。
Kazami looked really uneasy about that prospect, but Watase stuck to his opinion in spite of it.
だいたい考えてもみろ。カードスロットの修理なんて俺たちにできると思うか。
それは僕に少し心得がある。機械には多少詳しいつもりなんでね。
Okay, good. We might be able to get through the card reader.
だが確証はない。そうだろ。
まあ確かにやってみなければ何とも言えないが。
じゃあさ、時間もあまりないんだし、ここは二手に分かれない？
Okay.
私が浮田さんと一緒にカードスロットのところに行くからさ。
Okay.
私も森部さんたちに。
では私と隊長で通路の確認へ向かいましょう。椿
消火の手伝いなんてできないし、私も森部さんたちについていくわ。
Alright, just me and you, Kazami.
自分で意見を言っておいて申し訳ないけれど。
いいさ。
It's alright, don't worry about it. Watase said that and quickly went on the move with Kazami. Alrighty guys, can we put the fire out? Can we save ourselves and hopefully find some AD in the storage room? We're gonna find out next time, hopefully, on Route Double. Take it easy.